Hi everyone, my name is Matt, and this is my shop. Who is that guy? As younger me was saying, my name is Matt. Welcome to my shop. Today is January 19th, and this is my weekly shop update. So this is my 1-year anniversary of making videos here on YouTube and making these shop updates. This is episode 53. I've been doing this for over a year now, which is an awesome feeling. So I thought I'd take a little time today to just talk briefly about why I started making these videos in the first place. So for the longest time since I started woodworking, I had always wanted to make woodworking videos, pretty much since day one. And every single time I tried, I failed miserably, at least personally in my eyes. I had absolutely no ability to talk to a camera, and for whatever reason, I just couldn't get any words out, and it was bad. So I have some very bad footage of me many years ago in my old shops and in this shop as well, where I actually tried to start making videos. The last year, or the beginning of last year, I finally just said to myself that it's something that I really wanted to do, and it wasn't just going to happen by itself. I had to go out there and practice. So I started making these shop updates as a way to get in front of the camera and start talking. And one of the things, or one of the reasons that I really wanted to do that was more of a personal betterment, just to be able to form thoughts better and be able to speak on the fly better, because that's just something that I was never good at prior to this. And I'm still not that great at it, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. So just being able to get in front of the camera and start talking, it really helped me to be a better speaker and get my ideas and thoughts across in a more concise and consistent manner. So that's why I started making the videos. And if you actually watch those, at the time I thought that they were pretty decent, and they're very highly edited. There are a lot of outtakes in those videos. Most of those things, even though they were only like 5 to 10 minutes long, the actual raw footage from that shoot was probably more in the 20-minute range. And that's just how bad it was. Nowadays, at least, I save a lot of time on the editing side because I'm not editing as much. And now if I'm editing, it's just to make the pace just kind of keep going and not be so drawn out and get rid of any dead space in the video. Just like right now. See that dead space? It's gone. So it's been a really fun year. I've had a lot of fun doing these videos, and I'm going to keep doing them into the foreseeable future. So thank you for everyone who's been a part of this fantastic and amazing journey with me. It's only going to get better from here, so thank you again. So this past week I had the pleasure of having Nick Ferry here in my shop for a few days, and it was a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance to spend some time with another woodworker, you don't have to be making videos or anything, but just spend some time with someone else that's passionate about what you're doing as well. It's a lot of fun. Nick came into town with the intention of doing my first hand-cut dovetails video, and that's what we got a lot of work done on. And I had Nick start with some half-blind dovetails, and he did a really great job for his first time. I'm actually really proud of him, to be honest. Great job, Nick. So while Nick was here, we filmed his Ferry Talk, which is basically his update video. That's on his second channel. If you're not already subscribed over there, I'll leave a link in the description to his Ferry Talk channel. While we sat there, we actually stood here at the bench, and we were talking about the dovetails and the project so far along. And we talked about the dovetail making and all that fun stuff. He brought some really cheap chisels with him that he just got, and we sharpened those. That was a lot of fun too. I started sharpening one chisel for Nick, and he started to see like, whoa, sharpening is actually possible, and it's actually possible to get something like that really sharp. And I guess he probably wasn't familiar with what a sharp chisel really was, or how easy it was to sharpen a chisel. So his first night here, he spent about 2 hours at the stone just sharpening, just going crazy and sharpening things and testing them out and pairing, and it was a lot of fun to watch and be a part of. So yeah, sharpening. Who thought it could be so fun? Oh, check out the cool t-shirt he made for me too. Who is that? It's me. Thanks, Nick, for the t-shirt. I really appreciate it. This is an awesome design. Oh, if you're not subscribed to Nick's main channel as well, I'll also leave a link to that channel in the description. You're going to want to check out his video this Friday. That's got a lot about his time here, and yeah, it's going to be a fun video. looking forward to that as well. So how about in the shop this week? Well, I got a lot of things done on the secretary. Let me just move this camera a little bit so we can chat about that. So the first thing I did as far as this project goes for this week is I finished up the face frame. So I got it all sanded, I got it all prepped, and I hand sanded all of the curves in here. That took me like 2 hours of just hand sanding. So I got the whole face frame totally finished, prepped, and then I glued it onto the case. So this is now permanently attached to it. But before I attached that face frame, I made a couple of templates of the curves of the scroll board right here. I have a left and a right pattern. This will allow me to come back later and make the actual molding to go up there. It's obviously a lot easier to make a template now while the face frame was not attached than when it's attached, and you got to figure out the curves up there. So I'll be using this template to make those curved moldings, which will be pretty interesting. They're going to be 3 inches thick, or made out of 3-inch thick stock. So I'll be pulling that stock this week, getting it milled up, and probably start making those moldings either this week or next week. We'll see how things go. So another thing I did is I added the profile to the horizontal cubbyhole dividers down here. If I can get one out, there we go. So I added a similar profile to I guess this is the valences on the desk. That's a really simple S-curve. Pretty simple. This is all hand sanded and hand finished. I rough cut them with the bandsaw, rough sanded them on the spindle sander, and then I hand sanded each one of these profiles to get them perfect, as well as round over the edges to give it a more soft look. I also did the final finish prep on the vertical cubbyhole dividers. I still have one here left on the bench that I have to do. And on these ones here, I actually go through and I hand sand this whole profile. And it takes me about 5 minutes per cubbyhole divider to get that profile nice and smooth and cleaned up. Then also round over the edges a little bit just to give it again a more lighter look. So probably the most interesting and exciting thing that I got to work on this week, or I started working on this week, are the fan carvings that go up here in this arch cutout. It's a compound arch, I guess. There's an arch here in this direction, and there's an arch in this direction, so it's double concave, I guess. The carving block itself is 1 7/8 inches thick and 12.5 inches long, and then from that, the recess gets roughed out like this. This one here. So you can kind of see how it's curved in 2 directions, and you need to kind of connect the top curve to the bottom curve here. And then inside of here, we'll get like a sunburst kind of thing. It'll be a semicircle here with, it's a fan, so you have rays coming out from that center point. So that's really cool. I haven't done any carving before, so this is my first time. So far, all I've done is just rough it out, like I said, and to do that, I used a straight chisel. I just used a standard, I used my longer 1.25 inch, I think, chisel, just to rough out all this material instead of using my carving gouges, because these chisels are really, well, they're a lot easier to sharpen than one of my carving gouges. But so far, it's actually been pretty easy. The only hard part about this is the grain direction change happens over here and it's not centered, so you kind of have to work this way until here and then come back and come this way. So last week I did shoot my shop tour video and I have it mostly all edited. I still have to finish up those other 2 videos to go along with it, the prior shops and the shop evolution video, because I do want to release those all at once. If I get that shop tour video finished up first, I'm going to put that out as an unlisted video, and I'm going to link to it on Facebook and Twitter. So if you're not already following me over there, and you want to see that shop tour before everyone else, be sure to head over there and follow me there, Facebook and Twitter. Links to those are in the description as well. So another reminder, next Tuesday will be Brain Pick with Bob from I Like to Make Stuff. I'll be on that show. Again, I'll remind you again next week, but if you haven't set your calendar for that already, do it now. If you have, make sure it's still on your calendar. Maybe set another reminder so you don't miss it. Another update is my website is just about done. There it is right there. That's another thing I'll probably have done earlier or before this update next week. So I'll probably announce that release on the social media as well, probably later on this week. I'm doing a staged rollout, so I have basically the framework done right now with some of like the more informational stuff on there, and then I'm going to roll out and add like a store, for instance, and some other features to the site as well. All right, so this week we'll have those 3 videos. We'll have the shop tour, the shop evolution, and the prior shops video. We'll also have an Ask Matt, which will be about my chainsaws and my chainsaw tools and stuff. And then maybe a 5th video if I'm feeling so ambitious. We'll see. That's a lot of videos to release in 1 week, so we'll see. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it as always. If you have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today or anything here in my shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I appreciate those. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking. The other thing that another project I've been putting off, just like the Adirondack chairs that have been sitting around in my shop, is it's a secretary that I started last spring. This one right here.